Right now at 5, after 6 years of delay, trials are now underway for a La Crosse County stabbing suspect.
And your drive to Iowa just got easier, but it won't last long. The reason the opening is only temporary.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. A trial is underway for a La Crosse County homicide that happened 6 years ago.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit joins us in the newsroom with the update. Allison.
45-year-old Ann Quinn St. Junius is accused of fatally stabbing Virgil Stewart on January 2nd, 2019. But the trial has faced delays, partly because of problems finding St. Junius a lawyer. 5 defense attorneys have handled the case over the 6-year timeline. On the day of the alleged stabbing, St. Junius and a woman got into a taxi after a house party on La Crosse's 7th Street. Stewart then approached them as he was leaving. Witnesses told police the men got into an argument and St. Junius stabbed Stewart. In court today, Stewart's girlfriend recounted what she saw from down the street.
I saw a man's arm grab Virgil's right arm and kind of pull him a little bit more into the taxi cab. When he stepped back, he was holding his chest like this. And then when he took his hand down, blood came streaming out like a fountain.
She testified that she drove Stewart to a nearby hospital where he died from his wounds. This is St. Junius's second time in court for allegedly stabbing someone. In 2012, St. Junius took a plea deal after being accused of stabbing a bartender in downtown La Crosse. Coming up at 6, hear from St. Junius's attorney reporting in the newsroom. Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Allison. $10,000 worth of items were stolen from Sparta's Butterfest this weekend. Sparta police say it likely occurred Saturday morning. Most of the items were jewelry, and one vendor also reported stolen card readers. No suspects have been identified, and it is still under investigation.
Minnesota lawmakers are in special session today. They hope to pass the state budget and avoid a government shutdown. They'll tackle 14 bills, including a controversial plan to remove undocumented immigrants from state health coverage, which was passed earlier today. It is the state's first special session since 2021. It's expected to be wrapped up by 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, good news for Lansing and DeSoto travelers. The Blackhawk Bridge is officially back open this hour after a detailed safety inspection.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk is live at the bridge with the latest. Good evening, Grace.
The Blackhawk Bridge is officially open again, but it won't stay that way all summer. The Iowa DOT closed the bridge after engineers detected unsafe movement. Iowa DOT says they inspected the bridge and it's safe to drive across. There will be closures in the future as the DOT continues to work on the new bridge. However, they plan to have it open through the 4th of July weekend. One DeSoto resident says she's happy she can easily access businesses in Lansing again.
We come here for everything. We come here to eat. We come here. We got our haircut this morning. We doctor over here, so it's nice that it's open again.
Iowa DOT says they will give people a week notice when they plan to close the bridge. The water taxi service will continue to run. The DOT says you can find updates on those closures either
And basically, Grace is trying to say there, you can find those updates online or on Facebook. And of course, we'll share those as they become apparent as well.
Well, quite a bit of a temp drop today. A little chilly outside, overcast. Nicole, when's this warm up going to happen?
Yeah, I actually had a long sleeve on earlier this morning because it took a long time for us to warm up as well. We had some cloud coverage out there to start the day off, and then we got to see some sun poking out later this afternoon, but it still came at that cost for some isolated showers tracking across the area. Still holding on to a few of those. A lot of them, though, really starting to finish up, mainly staying over into northeastern Wisconsin. Still maybe a chance to feel a couple sprinkles, but even if one does pass overhead, it's going to be over in just a matter of minutes, so you don't have to wait too long before it dries up again. Current conditions right now in La Crosse, it's definitely cooler, 65. This is our high for today. Eau Claire, similar temperatures, a little bit cloudier, sitting at 64. So again, definitely cooler than we were this weekend, but it's not looking to last too long. We do have a warm up coming already as we even go into tomorrow with substantially warmer temperatures, but it's staying chillier this evening. Most of the area staying in those 60s as we head into the overnight period. Winds start to die down a little bit as well, so maybe if you just wear a longer layer, it's not too bad out. It's really hard to go into these 60s after we have multiple days in the 80s. It's hard to say that the 60s are chilly, but once we've finally had these summer temperatures around it,
you're not used to it.
It feels like it, yeah. But again, if you're not a fan of it, it's going to warm up really quickly as we go into tomorrow and even looking towards Wednesday. So I'll have the details on that coming up.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Nicole.
Amplify Health by Gunderson's free summer meal program is underway now at their La Crosse cafeteria. The program runs through August 20th, offering free breakfast and lunch to kids 18 and under on weekdays. Breakfast is served from 6:30 to 9:30, lunch from 10:30 to 2. The USDA-funded program helps provide nutritious meals to help students stay active all summer long.
Well, of course, when they're growing, they need the right amount of energy. They're playful outside, so they're going to be moving a lot. Obviously, they're growing. We just need to provide them a well-rounded meal. Obviously, again, giving them the options of what they like.
The cafeteria is located at 1900 South Avenue in La Crosse.
And La Crosse Area YMCA kicking off their own summer lunch program today. Kids 18 and under can get a free lunch with fresh produce, milk, and a protein. Volunteers will serve meals daily at 24 sites across La Crosse County.
During out of school time, there's that hunger gap that a lot of families face, the increased pricing of groceries throughout the area. We wanted to step up and do our part. Community wellness is the responsibility of the community, and so the YMCA is here to help bridge that gap.
The YMCA hopes to serve 400,000 lunches this summer.
The 2025 Wisconsin State Women's Golf Open is in full swing. The three-day event takes place at the La Crosse Country Club starting today. This is the first time the Women's Open has been hosted in the La Crosse area. The event features over 60 female amateur and professional golfers with ties to Wisconsin, and some are playing this course for the very first time.
The last couple of courses they've held this tournament at have been a little more tree-lined, I think.
Yeah.
And which was nice to see that this was a little more of an open course, so which I prefer.
After the La Crosse Open, the tournament will continue in Kohler in mid-August and Lake Geneva in early September.
The Packers are parting ways with Jaire Alexander. That is according to a report from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. The 28-year-old corner has spent his entire 7-year career with the Green and Gold, a former first-round pick. In that time, he's earned 2 Pro Bowl selections and gotten 12 interceptions. But injuries have limited him to just 14 games in the last 2 seasons, leading to an offseason of questions about his future with the team.
Still to come, tensions escalate in Los Angeles over President Trump's immigration crackdown. The latest on the protests and the president's latest travel ban.
Plus, Apple announces its newest waves of updates, the iPhone's new look after this. President Trump ramps up the rhetoric against California's Governor Gavin Newsom as protests in Los Angeles over federal immigration raids continue.
Erica Brown has the latest from the White House.
Amid ongoing unrest in Los Angeles sparked by his administration's immigration crackdown, President Trump had this to say about California Governor Gavin Newsom, who dared Trump's border czar Tom Homan to arrest him.
Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great.
This weekend, the president deployed National Guard troops to the city to quell demonstrations over the objections of state and local leaders.
I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
The developments come as the president's latest travel ban went into effect Monday. It bars citizens from 12 countries, including Afghanistan, from entering the United States.
I feel very dehumanized, like I am not considered a human just because of my community.
At the White House this afternoon, the president formally announced new savings accounts being dubbed Trump accounts. The pilot program is included in the massive budget package Republicans are trying to pass. Under the plan, the federal government would contribute $1,000 into an individual investment account for U.S. children born in 2025 through the end of 2028, with the opportunity for more contributions.
These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents.
And about 30 miles from the White House, tanks and other military equipment have started to arrive ahead of Saturday's military parade in D.C., celebrating the Army's 250th birthday. Erica Brown at CBS News, the White House.
And top U.S. and Chinese officials are holding trade talks in London today. The talks come while the U.S. and China are in a 90-day tariff de-escalation. For now, U.S. duties on Chinese imports are at 30% instead of 145%, and China's rate is down to 10% from 125%. But reciprocal tariffs on all Chinese goods are slated to resume July 9th.
The U.S. economy added 139,000 jobs last month. That's down from April's 147,000. But beat economists' expectations of 130,000. The unemployment rate held steady at 4.2%.
Warner Brothers Discovery will split into two individual publicly traded companies. The first, called Streaming and Studies, will center around the HBO Max service and Warner Brothers Studio. The second one, Global Networks, will be based around CNN and other TV networks. The breakup is expected to take place sometime next year.
Apple unveiled a series of changes for its iPhone, iPad, and other devices. The new liquid glass interface will feature see-through visuals with a glossy surface. Spam detection is also a focus in the update. Unknown messages will be sent into a separate folder until approved, and you'll be able to create new emojis with ChatGPT. We'll have more news ahead.
But first,
we have a little bit of a warm-up on the way, but it's not going to last too long because the rest of the week is going to be a little bit wet. So I'll have all the details on how much rain we're expecting to see coming up right after the break.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, severe storms brought damaging winds across North Texas this weekend.
Nearly 50,000 customers were impacted by power outages. Pittsburgh County was one area hit the hardest. Multiple buildings in downtown were damaged by a likely tornado.
Yeah, and a news station in Abilene, Texas was also damaged by the storms, a twister caving in the garage and blowing off the studio's roof. Which would be quite the surprise and shock if that were to happen. In the meantime, I was wearing a sweatshirt and shorts for the dog walk today around 10 a.m.
Yeah, I had pants on. Usually this time of year, it's shorts all the way until September. But no, not today. Not today. A little chilly out there, Nicole.
Yeah, it was quite a different story. Temperatures throughout most of the morning actually stayed in the 50s before that sun finally decided to poke out a little bit into the afternoon. Overall, it was on the cooler side today, but today is really looking like the only day where that's going to be an issue because we warm up already as we go into tomorrow, getting back to near average, which this time of year is getting close to that 80-degree mark. So not bad for the first half of the week as we look towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Not the same story, though, as we go in towards the end of the week. So tonight we're looking at lows fairly mild, somewhat close to average. Most of the areas sitting in the low 50s, 55 for La Crosse, 53 in Eau Claire. As we head into tomorrow, there's that warm up that we're all looking forward to. Just one day of those cooler temperatures, and then we're finally back into the low 80s across most of the area. We're looking at a high of 82 in La Crosse, 81 in Eau Claire, mostly sunny as well too. Maybe a little bit of that lingering haze with some smoke still sticking around, but really not looking like it's going to be causing too much issue as we go into tomorrow. And then Wednesday's highs, a little bit of a potential for some folks to get a little bit warmer. Some folks further north, potentially a little bit cooler, but not too cold, still staying in the 70s. Areas south of I-90 may be creeping closer towards those upper 80s. Whether or not things pan out right could be a little bit of a warmer one going into Wednesday. And then the story really changes as we go into Wednesday night. That's when we start to see some showers and thunderstorms moving into the area. They're not really looking at moving out until we get maybe even into the weekend. So multiple days of wet weather ahead of us as we end the week out, making it all the more important to get outside and enjoy those 80s as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not really the best outdoor weather as we go towards the second half of the week. So there's where we see that spike in that rain potential going into Wednesday night. A little bit less widespread by Thursday, but Thursday night and into Friday, still looking at seeing widespread showers and the potential for those thunderstorms to track across the area as well. And that's all due to a pesky little stationary front that's going to be sitting over northern Iowa for most of this period, bringing multiple chances for showers and again those thunderstorms across the area. It's taking taking that west-east orientation, getting a little bit further south as we go into Thursday. That's why those shower chances are a little bit less on Thursday, mainly for folks south of I-94. Still could change, but looking to see less activity on Thursday. But then it starts to shift up a little bit more as we go into Friday, and we also see that low pressure system start to head on into the area as well. This is Friday morning. You can start to see a lot more widespread activity and the potential for some more moderate rainfall on Friday as well. Eventually it moves out as we go into Friday night and even into Saturday morning, but still could see some lingering showers for the first part of the weekend. Otherwise, Father's Day for now is looking on the most part dry, at least dry compared to how we're finishing this week off. This is going to take us through Saturday morning. Some spots in the area could see closer to 2 inches of rainfall. Don't look too close into exactly where those 2 inches are because, again, this is quite some time out, but there is that potential to see over 2 inches. So heavy rainfall is definitely going to be the main concern and the main risk with a lot of those storms towards the end of the week. Otherwise, looking to potentially see a break going into the weekend, lining up pretty well to celebrate with your dad on Sunday, and then more showers and the potential for more thunderstorms to start next week off. Could be another little bit of a wet pattern going in there too. So a little bit active. That makes it all the better to enjoy tomorrow and Wednesday.
All right, so get out while you can.
Yeah, when it's nice and warm and dry.
Thanks, Nicole. Still to come, only the best is good enough.
The 8-year-old getting a unique, life-changing prosthetic when we come back.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, a new program is helping first-time dads feel more confident with their newborns. Boot Camp for New Dads launches just before Father's Day. We've got the details at 6.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
An 8-year-old Lego lover just got the coolest prosthetic arm ever.
He sure did. Healthcare specialists built Toby a personalized prosthetic out of Lego bricks. The boy from England was born with a rare hand condition, but now has a colorful arm with Lego pieces built right in. Toby helped design it and says it's really upped his game.
It actually really helps with the controllers on my Switch because usually I have to use my little arm to move it, but now I can actually hold it and move it.
So now he can dominate at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Toby says it also helps him catch a basketball better than ever, and he's hoping to one day get a fully bionic version of his Lego limb.
And he can design that one too. I'm pretty impressed. That is really awesome.
That's fantastic technology. For someone who's born with a condition to have something that enables him to do the things that he loves, it's great.
And feel good about it too. It's very stylish. I like it. All right, Greg. Nicole has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Well, we're warming up as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, but that's coming to an end pretty quickly for Thursday and Friday. Storms move in, maybe going into the start of the weekend, but for now, Father's Day, not looking too bad. So good day to spend with Dad.
All right.
That's good.
Fingers crossed it continues to look
Hopefully,
that good.
hopefully.
All right, that does it for us at 5.
And we'll see you back at 6.